Live how you want to live. Don't get mad if there are consequences to that. Thumbs up for a like, subscribe, and hit the bell. What I mean by don't get mad at the consequences is don't be unaccountable for the results that manifest due to your decision making, due to how you choose to live your life. There are always potential consequences to any lifestyle, to any decision you make. There are always potential consequences. And as I've suggested before, and I'm suggesting now, you live how you want to live. You do what you want to do. Just don't cry about the consequences of such. You need to be accountable. You need to be accepting of whatever results come from that. And if you don't like the results that come from that, you don't even have the right to blame anyone else for what you're going through. That is ultimately what the issue is. The blaming of others for why you ended up where you at based on how you wanted to live. So if you want to be a vegan and none of your friends are vegans, none of your friends want to go eat with you because you're a vegan, they don't want to invite you to certain restaurants, you can't get mad at everybody for not wanting to embrace the lifestyle that you want to live. You live how you want to live. Just don't cry about the consequences of such. You are getting angry at what resulted from what you wanted to do. And see, as a man, as a person, as a woman, you got to be an adult when it comes to the decisions you make in life. And if you are a very, very emotional decision maker, you are the most likely to be the one to be angry at others for your lifestyle choices if there are consequences. And there are consequences to every lifestyle choice. Doesn't matter what they are. And the consequences, of course, vary depending on the lifestyle. The consequences vary depending on the decision you make. Anything you do has consequences. And consequences, the word itself has a negative connotation. Really, it's about the results. It's just results. So whatever results you bring into your life, you need to accept your role in that, which it's all your fault. Whether the results be good or bad, you made decisions, you made choices that led to that result. As an adult, you have to be accountable for this. And we live in a society today that is so pro emotions, putting emotions way over critical thinking. We do not live in a critical thinking society. We don't. This is not a thinking society, to be frank. It's really not. To be honest, the Western society is no longer a society of thought. It is a society of feelings over everything. I felt like this. I felt like that. I felt like that. I did that because I was feeling like this. And when everything you do is based on how you feel, your feelings, your emotions are not consistent. So of course, when you make so many decisions based on how you feel, when you go with certain lifestyle choices based on how you feel, if you're going through a depression, you're making certain life-altering lifestyle choices, and you're not operating off of critical thought, you are going to face a lot of consequences that blindside you. And this is where the blaming of others really comes into play. The blaming of others really comes into play when you lack so much critical thought. Everything you do, you feel as though you didn't have control in the matter. when in actuality you had complete control in the matter. Emotional people that are driven by their emotions, they're blindsided by everything that happens to them. Everything that happens to them, I didn't see that coming. This programming of thought where they don't even put in the effort to be a critical thinker, because being a critical thinker requires effort. It requires effort to stop and think. It requires effort to plan out the decisions you make, to calculate the risk. This is a critical thinker. Nothing that happens to me and people that are like-minded, nothing that happens to us is a surprise, other than acts of God, I would say. Those would be the only things that would happen to us that would be surprising, because the way that I live my life, especially in this society, there are definitely people that are not gonna like me. No matter how you choose to live your life, there's always gonna be someone that doesn't like the way you chose to live your life. And guess what? I accept that. I completely accept all the people not liking me that dislike me. I accept it, because that is a consequence of me choosing to live the life that I live. I don't even take the time to shame people into, oh, you should like the way I think, you should like how I am, you should do this, you should do that. No, I don't shame people into accepting what I believe. Although I believe how I live is a good way to live, I am not so emotional that I won't accept others disliking the way that I live. I accept that, because that is a consequence, that is reality that we must all accept. You cannot escape consequences in life. And I'm encouraging people, men, women, if you're an adult and you're blaming others for where you're at in life, you are not a critical thinker. You cannot be a critical thinker and be constantly blaming others for how you as an adult got in a situation you're currently in. Because a critical thinker makes calculated decisions. So if you are making calculated decisions, how can you end up in a place that you don't desire to be in? How can you end up in a place that is not of your own choosing? See, if you are a person that is accountable and you have the wrong formula, you can admit, hey, I made a calculation that was incorrect. I had the wrong formula. Let me make an adjustment. You are a critical thinker if you think like that. But if you are the type of person that is always in situations where you can't even explain how you got there without using a bunch of emotional language, without pointing the fingers at others. You can't even explain your situation logically, how you ended up there. You are an emotional decision maker, and you are someone that is living a lifestyle that you chose, but you will likely not be accountable for what consequences have come into your life. And especially as a man, you gotta be guided by your logic, and you cannot allow yourself to be living lifestyles and then crying, complaining, blaming others for what potential consequences will come of that lifestyle, because that is not becoming of a man, that is not becoming of ultimately a critical thinker.